Hey, Teo. This is not food, that's beekeeping stuff. Hi, welcome to Daddy Kerb's Farm. I'm Blake Kirby, known as Daddy Kerbs, and I truly believe that everyone has a story and every story counts. I share my story online to educate and entertain, but mostly to encourage you and to become a part of your story. Thank you for being a part of my story. Let's talk about beekeeping. Today is a really good day in February. It's supposed to be up to 80 degrees today, and then for the rest of the week it's going to dip down back into the 40s and 50s. We're going to take advantage of today to get in here and see how these hives are doing. I mentioned in my live show yesterday that I was a little concerned about this shortest hive here. That's the one where we collected a swarm last year, and this should be the year that it really grows up, but I was a little concerned because every time we've come out here just for observation on the outside of the hive, there haven't been a lot of bees, but right now, just sitting here, I can see some bees going in and out. I'm hoping that is because the hive is still alive and not robbers. We'll see how this goes. I have not yet been stung through these gloves, and they're a lot better for dexterity compared to the big leather gloves, so we're gonna keep using these until I figure out that they don't work anymore or there's something better. Ready to go. Hey, look, there's bees. Either they're still alive or there's a lot of robbers. That's a lot of bees. That's good. I think it's good. Aha. They made it through the cold winter. Fantastic. I'm sure they're very glad I waited for an 80 degree day to get started. You can see the dead beetles that are stuck in these towels. That's exactly why they're there. We're gonna put those back on, but I'm gonna take them off for just a moment so we can look at some of these frames here. That's a lot of propolis that they built up on that. They made it through the winter, so hopefully they will make it as a hive. They do have some pollen in there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's that liquid. That means that's from them. They haven't been fed in a very long time, so they are pulling something in from somewhere. I said pollen, but I mean nectar. There's that liquid in there. They have some pollen on this side, so they're drawing from somewhere. If you follow my Instagram, you saw where I posted a picture of some of the mistletoe that is growing on the Texas mesquite. And the bees were all over that mistletoe last week because the mistletoe is actually producing pollen right now. That's a little bit of capped honey right there. Not very much.
Now, was that theirs or was that left over on the frame?
I think it's theirs. I would have to go back and look at other videos to know for sure, but I think it's theirs. And there's a lot more pollen on this side. Not a lot of pollen, but a lot compared to the other side. Oh, see, that one's trying to sting me. There you go.
That's the one you just pulled out.
Oh. Sorry. I was gonna say that one looks just like the other one. This one's a little heavier. We got honey on both sides of this one. I'm pretty sure that's all their honey. That's very good.
It's very dark.
It is very dark. Lots of nectar and some honey on that one. It looks like they're doing a pretty good job of putting stores away. I haven't yet seen anything that looks like brood or eggs. I haven't really looked. Let me take a better look in here for eggs. I like seeing dead beetles. I would prefer to see no beetles, but I'm going to turn toward the sunlight here. I see a beetle, a live beetle. That's no good. I I don't see anything that looks like eggs in that one. I see, oh wait. Is that larva? Oh no, that's just pollen. A lot of pollen. So this is another one where they're storing. So far, I've seen nectar and pollen, no brood, but I haven't really expected to see brood. I'd kind of like to see the queen just to know. That's always the case. There's larva right there. That's all capped larva. Can you come over here and get a shot of this? That's all capped larva right there. You can see some mature larvae down in there, so they have been producing. They're getting ready for springtime. I'll probably have to come out and put another box on this one pretty soon. I got a sneaky suspicion that the queen's on this frame, but I could be wrong. I don't see her right now. There's larvae on this side too. There's capped larvae, and then I see some uncapped larvae. And eggs. I see eggs. That's fantastic. That means the queen is doing her job. She's busy taking care of business. All right. I'm gonna just put it back together. I saw the queen eggs, or the eggs. Lots of activity, lots of pollen, lots of nectar and larvae. So this hive appears to be doing well. I don't think I'm in a hurry to put a box on, but I need to keep in mind over the next few weeks when the pollen starts coming out and they start building up, it's going to get more rapid. They still have lots of room. I just want to make sure I always keep in mind that this is an active producing hive, producing eggs, producing bees. So I need to keep up with their progress. Put these hive beetle traps back on. Alright, that's one hive inspected, first time of 2018. Well, they got that stuck pretty good. That's from the propolis. Oh, the inner cover came off with it. They have a lot of honey in the top of this one. I'm just going to pull this top box off. Oops, I broke the frame on that one. They have a lot of propolis in here. That one's stuck. I broke the top of that frame off. I'm going to just push it in there, and then maybe when we extract this hive I can get it out. But let me try to get one separated, just to confirm that there's not a lot of brood going on in this top box. I don't suspect there is. These are heavy frames. They have a lot of honey. That is solid honey. They have a little bit of nectar on this side, a little bit of pollen, but mostly just solid honey. Alright, and I think most of the boxes, most of the hives, most of the frames in this top box look very similar. Let me look at one more here. Yep, lots of honey. Lots and lots of honey. Okay, so I'm going to pull this top box off. In this new apiary, one of the reasons I did these hive stands the way I did, they're very similar to the way they were over there, but I left only 2 hives so I could have the center space to work. It's like a table. Oh my! That's going to be a good box of honey. There's a lot of propolis on this towel, a lot of dead beetles, and a few dead bees. Let's go ahead and just drop that in here. That'll burn. Alright, so it looks like most of the bee activity is on this side. I'm going to pull a frame out of here and then slowly scoot them over and see what's going on in here. Try to get that propolis broke between the frames before I start lifting on them. Look at that beauty. That is a lot of pollen, a lot of nectar, and some capped honey on the top. Now these bees have done okay. through this winter. I was a little concerned for them, but I think they figured out how to take care of business. All right, I'm getting down on my knees so I could see them a little better and I don't have to keep bending over and hurting my back. All right, I'm just gonna scoot a few of these over so I can get one of these that's in the middle out. I don't need to dig around too much, but I do want to just check and see what kind of activity there is. Like this frame right here, I think there's probably some good stuff going on there. It has not been easy being a video creator over the last few weeks, a month or so, because we've had a lot of sickness in our house and I'm just getting over it myself. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm putting the sunlight to my back and looking down into those frames, and I can see a lot of pollen. I don't see any eggs so far in this one, I don't think. Sometimes the eggs are hard to see, but I'm pretty sure there's no eggs in this one. But they do have a fair amount of nectar and pollen. They're getting just a little bit. They're not angry. There's nothing wrong with what they're doing, but I can hear their tone changing just a little bit, which means they're starting to get a little bit frustrated with me. I don't blame them. I got their house tore in half. Okay, here. Oh, come around this side of me. Can you see that in the camera? Oh, that brood. See the larva in the middle? There's larva in the middle, and there's eggs. You probably can't see it, but down in the bottom of those, there's some eggs. It looks like little tiny pieces of rice. They look good. This is a good hive. Great hive. Alright, I don't need to see the queen, so I'm gonna just put this back together. Yeah. I wish I wasn't wearing a mask because I would taste that honey right there. Very exciting. So far it looks like I have 3 out of 3 hives made it through the winter. I'm gonna try to put this on at an angle and then twist, hoping to not kill too many bees. I think I managed to do that. And lots of honey, putting the honey back in. I need to bring some more towels out. This towel was all chewed up. You can see that that's the shape of the frame on the inside, so I need to get a new towel to put in there. If you were watching last season, you know that hive number 6 was sort of aggressive. And this is that same hive. I do expect these bees to come out a little bit hotter than those 2 hives. They're already a little more active than the other hives. That's not always bad. A good hive, sometimes the aggressive hives, are the ones that produce the best. Their pitch is still pretty good. I'm listening to them. They don't sound too heated up yet. So what's going on here is that last season I harvested some of these off the top box and I put empty frames in, and they remain empty. There are some in the middle that are full, but there's still a few of them that are empty. Look at that.
It's a lot of honey.
It looks crystallized, doesn't it? That's interesting.
Take a little bit off. Tiny bit.
It's not crystallized, but the top of that
Has moisture on it.
It has moisture on it, yeah. That's probably not good.
They probably don't have enough bees to be.
I should probably take this top box off. There's actually not very many bees in this top box. I'm gonna take it off and see what it looks like down in these other 3 boxes. I don't need that queen excluder right now either. Now they're starting to hit me a little bit. They're coming out and warning me.
Yep, they're on your mask.
Yeah, these bees are much more defensive. They're coming out, they're letting me know that they don't appreciate what's going on here. Camera guy, you can just stand over there. Camera guy came out with no socks, so his ankles are a little bit of a target.
My ankles are showing.
Your ankles are showing.
It seems like these last, these 3 hives are favoring your right side of the hive.
Yeah, the south side, because that's where all the heat is. The sun comes around this direction, and they're heating up this side of the box. Okay, there's lots of good honey up here in this box. They do not need that top box I just took off, so I'm going to take that one back to the house. But I do want to take this one off. All right, there's a lot of bee activity here, so I'm going to get in there and see if they're just on honey or if they brought some of that brood up into this 3rd box. This is a slightly more aggressive hive, but they're being really good right now.
There's brood. There's brood right in the middle.
There's eggs and there's brood right there on the top middle. You're right. I kind of want to see if they're in that bottom box at all. Oh yeah, lots of brood on this frame. So they definitely brought brood.
Drone cells on the other side.
You got drone cells over here?
Hey, that's a foundationless frame too.
This is a foundationless frame. There are some drone cells. You're correct. There's lots of brood, lots of larvae. Brood, a lot of people ask me when I do beekeeping videos, what is brood? I keep saying brood. That's baby bees. The eggs, the larvae, that's all baby bees, and that's called brood. Yeah, there's a lot of larvae in here. So they have honey on the north side of this box. Just in case you're wondering, all these hives are facing east, so they get that morning sun on the front of the hive. Then the sun travels around, and this south side of the hive is going to be the warmest side of the hive. So I'm curious in the summertime if they're going to move a lot of their activity to the north side of the box, and then in the winter move their activity to the south side of the box. I don't know. Alright, let's take this box off. Now I really need to see if they have moved completely out of that bottom box, or if they just are that awesome to where they have brood in 3 boxes. Alright, this one has not much. Not much in that one. Pollen, stores, but still very light. They're not on your ankles, are they?
Nope. I really don't like the camera though.
No, they hate the camera. This is mostly an empty box here.
So I'm just gonna take a wild guess and say the bottom box is probably empty too.
If it is, then we need to
move the 3rd one down.
We need to move the 3rd one down, take this 2nd one out. Okay, that one's mostly empty. It's got a little bit of comb drawn on that side. Oh, I need to leave that out so I can move these over. They have a lot of comb, but it's all empty, both sides. And same thing there. Looking kind of empty down here. They do have some pollen here, so they do have some stores going on. And this one has quite a bit of pollen. They're definitely storing nectar and pollen in the bottom. Again, lots of pollen. Yeah, so they definitely are moving their brood nest up, which means I need to bring it down. I need to take that 2nd box out. Yep, okay, and this one's mostly empty. Alright, so here's the plan on this one. So for this hive, I'm gonna let them keep that deep box, but the box that had the brood in it, I'm gonna put on top of here. They also have some honey in here. My goal for them, what I hope for, is that because we took a lot of that real estate away, they can start filling up those boxes, top and bottom, because I'm going to take both of those off. And yeah, so they can establish this hive a little better, And then later on we'll come out and put another box on, but it's going to be a while because that bottom box is pretty empty. My cameraman is the Golden Sun beekeeper. He still has a lot of his wits about him, so he suggested that I take this box that I'm not going to return, but put it on for just a moment and smoke the top of it and drive those bees down, just in case the queen crawled down when I was taking that box off. So I'm just going to set this on here, smoke the top, and try to drive every bee that's in this box down into the bottom. Hopefully now there's fewer bees in this box. Now I can close this one up and see how they do over the next few weeks. This box that is mostly empty, I'm going to let them rob it out a little bit up here in the corner of the apiary. That one has a good bit of honey on it, so I'll take that one into the house. If I left these in a box without any air or light around it, the frames would be quickly overrun by beetles and moths. So we want the bees to be able to come out and collect the resources and pull them back into their hive without the risk of those other insects, the bees and moths, coming out and destroying that. Notice there's lots of sunlight and lots of air around all these frames. That is going to create a place for the bees, all three hives, to come and rob, but it's going to hopefully inhibit some of the other things getting in there and taking that out. And we're ready to go back to the house. All I needed was a little bit of sunshine to get out and get some stuff done. It's been gray and cold and yucky for a month or more, and I'm so glad for this day. This next week it's going to get cold again, or at least cold to us here in Texas. It's these days that I live for, where it just, sun comes out, the sky is blue, and everything seems just right. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Beekeeping here on the Daddy Curbs Farm. If you share this video, I will consider that a gift and a compliment. Thanks again for watching this episode. I'll talk to you soon.